So in the previous video we just saw how to create a hexagonal mesh for an aircraft wing. Now we have to adjust some sizings so as to create or so as to improve the quality of the mesh. So initially we will just create some splits using edit tool over here, edit edge tool, and we will use spline method to create spline so as to match our airfoil geometry or aircraft wing. So just create enough amount of split so as to capture our aircraft wing. So I guess now we are done with our splitting. So our next process is to create an O-grid around our solid aircraft wing. For that, let's go to blocking again, split method, blocking, and we can now directly select our solid wing from here, and let's click apply. And make sure you have turned around block on, and we'll offset it to 0.2. It means that an O-grid will be created around the airfoil or aircraft wing. Sorry again. So I'll just switch off the internal edges now, so you can see how the O-grid is created now. Now O-grid is looking pretty good.
Next step is we will create and split exactly at some distance away from the leading edge, so that we can actually reduce the skewed element towards the front side of airfoil. For that, we'll go for blocking, split, and we'll create a normal split almost at this point. Yes, that will be fine. Yeah, that will be fine, I guess. So now let's try, I'll just switch off the internal edges and we'll try pre-meshing it. So we have actually not copied parameters to all parallel edges, that's why we are getting like this. So let me copy the parameters first. And there are some splits which are not looking good. So let me de-associate or unsplit the curve and we'll split it again. I mean spline it again. Okay, now that looks okay. So let's try pre-meshing it again. So we have to copy the parameters with this edge also. I'll do that also now. Copy parameters, make sure it is checked in, apply, pre-mesh. So now everything looks fine. So our next step is to set the number of elements at the O-grid edges. So let me set the number of elements as 7. That will be fine. So now a pretty good O-grid is created, and this also looks good. So if you need to improve the quality of the mesh while going towards the frontal part, you can actually just switch off. You can actually just align this vertex with respect to this so that it is a straight line. You can move directly manually here. You can just set Z and Y axis as constant or non-movable and just move with respect to X axis. You have to do this for all the sides now. So just switch on the internal edges too, so that we can do that process. And we'll go for index control and we'll just select the part that we need now to make things less complicated. This and this edge will be fine. Okay. So let's manually move it. So no problem with that. So I guess that will be fine. So now let's try pre-meshing it again. So now you can see the elements are arranged more properly now. So let me go to index control and reset everything again, and I'll just hide the outer part of O-Grid, and I'll just switch off the internal edges. So our next process will be to link our outer edges with respect to our O-Grid, so as to improve our volume mesh. For that, what we can do is that we can just go to pre-mesh parameters, and there is a link match edge option. So this edge can be matched to this edge, and we can select that edge now. So this is actually linked with this edge. So let me see like what direction it is moving on. This is the first point, this is the second point. So we can actually change the growth rate towards the second point as 1.1. That will be fine. So we'll increase the number of elements to here. Let me increase to 45 here. So pre-mesh it. So now you can see that moving towards the airfoil geometry, number of elements is increasing, which is what we want now. So we have to do this process towards the upper elements, lower elements, and towards right and towards down again. So we'll continue the process, this linked to this, and then we'll select this and change the ratio to 1.1. So we have to change the point at 1, ratio at 1.1, apply, and we'll copy to all other parameters too. Yes, so that also looks good, and we'll increase the number of elements to 45 again. That looks good. Just make sure that you have copied the parameters to all parallel edges, otherwise there will be problem with the mesh elements. Now we can go towards this side. So that will be to link this edge to this, and now we'll select this one, and we'll change the growth rate at a ratio 1 to 1.1, and the number of elements will be 45 again. We can actually increase the number of elements. Yes. So just for showing it, I'm just using a lower number of elements. If you just increase number of elements, precision of values also will increase now. So now we need to move towards the lower end. So we can just match this edge to this, and we'll select that edge, and this will be the second point now. So we can actually change the ratio growth rate of second point to 1.1, and again I will change the value to 45 here. So now our mesh looks pretty good, I guess. If we need, actually we can increase the number of elements towards our leading edge, that is this to this edge. We can actually increase it to 14. And we have not set the number of elements to this edge too, so we'll set it as 10. And I will increase the number of elements at this edge too. That can be almost 30. 30 will be fine. Yeah, and I'll just reduce the growth rate to 1.05. Therefore you can get more evenly distributed mesh. Okay, now that looks fine now. So let me just reset and see how outer mesh looks now. Since the number of elements are very high, it's taking pretty good amount of time to scroll. So we have to give number of elements with respect to these edges too. So let me just switch off the pre-mesh, and we'll give number of elements as 12, and I'll just switch on the counts to see what are the number of designs we have already given. So that will be 12, and this is actually given as 8. We'll reduce it to 40. That will be enough, and we'll pre-mesh it. Okay, so now let's reset and do the pre-meshing. So our mesh looks pretty good at this point. So let me check for the quality of the mesh now. So we are not having any zero angle elements, so it stays sure that you can actually run this mesh in Ansys Fluent to get results. So before ending this video, I'll just show you one more tip to increase the quality of the elements. So I'll just switch off the count now, and we can actually see that lower angle elements are situated. 1 second. Index control, reset, done, internal edges off, premesh. So you can actually see that towards our head, that is towards our frontal part, we are having the 0 angle elements. So we can actually create an O-grid at this part to avoid that. So we'll just switch on the mesh again, and we have not copied the parameters to this edge. So that also we need to do now. Okay. Our sizing is gone now, so we'll do it again. So towards the ratio, towards the second end, ratio 1.1 and 0.03 will be fine. We'll premesh it again. So now it looks good, and we'll increase the number of elements to 15. Yeah, so that will be fine for now. So to create an these are the elements which are having a lower angle, these elements. So in order to avoid these kinds of elements, what you can do is that you just switch on all the internal edges too at first, and we can actually create an O-grid here.
Yes, to select the block, let me just switch on the internal edges, and then we can actually have a transparent view instead of a solid view. So to create that O-grid, we can create it at exactly at this point. So this will be our block, not that. Yes, that will be our block, and we have to also select the face. This will be our face. Let's just select this face and we'll apply it. Actually, we have created it around the block. That's not how we want. So we'll just revert the process now. Just revert the process, and we'll keep the offset value. We'll just switch off the around the block and apply it. Now actually we can increase the size of the O-grid by editing the O-grid. So we can go to edit edges, edit block, and there is an O-grid, modify O-grid option, and we can select one of the edges and offset it to 2. So that looks fine now. Okay, so now let me pre-mesh it and see how it looks. Yeah, so now here you can see we are getting a pretty good box kind of shape here and towards the outer end we are having a pretty good mesh elements. So we have to actually copy the parameters here too. That's why we are having some kind of distorted kind of shape. For that, let's go to pre-mesh parameters and we'll copy parameter and we'll apply. Now let's pre-mesh it again, and we can actually increase the number of elements of that O-grid edge. We can increase it to 5. That would be fine. And we can manually move these 2 edges towards the center part so as to create more clearer mesh. So we'll just move it with respect to we'll just log Z axis and move it with respect to X and Y. Just log Z and we'll move respect to X and Y now. Yeah, that point will be fine. Now let's try pre-meshing it again. Let me switch off So there are some negative elements or zero angle elements created at this point. So let me just revert the process. Again I'll revert it. So this will be fine, I guess. So the total quality of the minimum angle is almost 5.26, and this mesh can be imported to ANSYS Fluent now. So I'll just show you the whole frame now. So this is how our total mesh looks. So as I told, if you need to increase the zero angle elements, like if you just select this element also will be presented towards this edge. So you can actually adjust that to grid. You can actually pull out the grid ends towards the center end, and you can repeat the same process to the trailing edge if there are some elements forming towards the trailing edge too. So this is how you do a structured meshing for an airfoil 3D aircraft wing geometry, and thank you for watching.